Your life doesn't become boring in one day or even like a month. It's really a growing sense of boredom over years or even longer than that, and comes from a veil of efficiency where you think that you're making it perfect. You're thinking that you're making it completely optimized, but it's not the truth. You're just making life boring. And I realized this myself, and that's why I'm making this video. Um, just like a month or two ago, I realized that I was kind of bored at the gym. Uh, but the reason was because I would just go through the motions. I'd walk into the gym, I'd sign in, go to the locker room, do my gym stuff, uh, with perfect form, with the perfect amount of weight to make sure that I grew in the perfect amount. And then I left, and I was just bored. I didn't feel anything from the gym. I was just bored, and that made me realize that, like, over the year or two that I have went to the gym, like, over time you just build up an almost like perfect sense of exactly what you need to do when you do the same thing over and over. You get into a structured and habit like environment. And a lot of people say like habits are good, and like structure of your life and routines are really good, and like they are the thing that you need to hold everything together. But I don't think that's exactly the case. I almost think that habits can lead to an over optimized life, a boring life, you know? It just, there's not really a reason to have perfect habits. It's more about uh, these ideas that you might hear about habits and stuff. They're more for the overall. They're the goals. They really are just the goals. And the micro steps that you take in between, like going to the gym, like driving there, let's say, and then going inside, and then doing the form, uh, and like do the amount of weight you do. Those are micro things that you can optimize, but when you optimize them, it gets really boring because that's optimizing exactly the entire process. That's optimizing every single second instead of optimizing for the real goal, where the solution is to just more be consistent and choose the correct, choose the realistic options that will probably make you grow. Like the options like going to the gym every day and doing a fairly good form. But sometimes the perfect way to do it isn't the perfect way. Maybe you want to go for a run one day instead of going to the gym. So it's like not always is even the perfect setup the actual perfect way. So it's like it's optimization doesn't the optimization on a micro level, on a daily level, doesn't really do all that much. It's more of like the overall, like, sure, habits and all that are really important, but once again, that's just in the long term. Uh, every day, you have to think about what exactly do you want to feel in this particular moment, and all you have to do is just feel that way. Like, figure out what you need to do to feel in that way. There are a few things that you kind of want to think about when you're choosing between optimizing it or not optimizing it, or like making it a habit or not. I think the main ones are like, are you going to like have a conversation in this, or is it like a conversation in general? Like, um, are you talking in some way? Because if you are, then optimizing it is probably not the best idea. There's like an infinite number of directions that it could go, so there's no reason to optimize it. And even if you do, it's just going to be make the conversation boring. You're not going to get the most out of it. Uh, that's the first one I think of, and then the second one is more like uh, things that you're doing creatively. Like, say you're writing, you don't want to like use AI for that because then you won't have your own voice, right? So like you can see how optimization wouldn't be the best option in that situation. So um, then the last one I think is more obvious. Is just like things that are meant to be fun, right? Things that you don't need to optimize because if you optimize them, then they kind of just aren't fun. Because if you optimize your life, you would cut out all fun stuff. You would have everything, every second being efficient and for whatever work you're working on, because then you get the most done. So obviously the fun stuff is not meant to be optimized. So the basic idea is just, so to rephrase it, if you make your life completely smooth, completely empty of friction, and just smooth all the way through, with all your optimizations, it's just boring, because, I mean, that removes the color and feeling from everything. But if you have just a little bit of friction, just enough to feel it, then you might actually reach a comfortable and not boring and happy life. That's just what I think, and that's about it. So, bye.